Hall of Fame, Babs Hall of Fame speaker Jonathan Lau from Malaysia.
Mabuhay! So good all of you are here today. Imagine if you have the opportunity to visit this place, what would be your feeling? How many of you are familiar with this thing that you see on the screen? Anyone know where this is? What about this? What about this picture? Kota Kinabalu. I like that, Laraju. And what about this? What does all these four pictures represent when you begin to see it? Anyone know where's the location? Orlando. You are absolutely correct. And you know what? 2 years ago, I had the privilege to be in Orlando. And on that particular day, I told my friend, Elias, and we say, hey, we are here early for the convention, so why don't we take a day out since we're in Orlando? We should visit the theme parks. How many of you have been to any of the theme parks around the world? Woo! What was your experience like? It was awesome? It was great? Yeah, we were so excited. So we spent our day and we walked around and we did the Magic Kingdom. We went to Epcot, the different cultural diversity, and we went to Hollywood Studio and we say, hey, maybe we should check out Animal Kingdom too. That was our last stop. And guess what? We went there, expectation was not too high because we thought we're going to be just seeing animals. And midway, as we were walking around the park, and Shirley Taylor, she saw the two of us walking and she said, hey, you guys, you have got to try this fun ride. And she said, oh, it's going to be a breeze. I'm really not the roller coaster. Any one of you are roller coaster guys? Yes. Right? It's a thrilling ride, right? I mean, to be honest, I was not really a roller coaster guy. But since it was highly recommended by Shirley, so I said, okay, Elias, I think we've got to do it. And so, there we were, going up the Expedition Everest. It was really quite fun. We kind of like buckle up, get ready, be ready for the ride. And you know how it is? They do the safety check, you're locked in, and the ride begins. And it went up, and it went up, and it went up. And in my heart, it was like beating, tuk, 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 tuk. And the more it went up, the adventure just started. So ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelt. We are going on the Expedition Everest this morning. So, as we went up, we came to this part. The part where it's like, where on earth are we going to next? And then the fun ride begins. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then we got spun back. And I was like holding on so tightly to the hand. And it was like spinning around. And we went into the darkness. And I said, Ernest, are you still there? I couldn't actually see him. It was so dark, really. And the emotion that was going in me, I even felt a little tingle of tears coming on my eyes. Oh my gosh, why Shirley Taylor? The person with a heart. I needed a lot of heart that day, Shirley. And again, the emotion that was felt that day, it was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of change. It was truly challenging. And I say, why did I put myself in this position? It was thrilling for sure, but did I want to go through that? I wasn't sure if I wanted to go through that. That was the kind of thing I was looking forward to. I wanted to be exciting, I wanted to have growth, I wanted to have opportunity. But as we are in environment these days, Are those some of the things that you experience in your work culture? When you begin to work, you go in with full of excitement. Shirley talked about fear. Do you have fear? So which emotion would you prefer? The first set or the second set? The positive, right? And I like what Shirley said before, right? What was the first interpretation of fear? Face everything and rise, right? But before that, what was the interpretation? Face everything and run, right? Well, good luck to me. I was locked in. There was no way to run. When you're in a roller coaster, you finish the ride. And there I was. I really have to finish the ride. And then I really began to deal much more into the areas. And I decided to even take 100% of the situation. Because I learned this from Jack Canfield. And we have a couple of friends who are also alumni from Jack's work. And remember this thing that is called E plus R equals to O. And it reminded me, if I want to have the emotions of the other set, it is really about me taking 100% ownership. So E plus R equals to O. What would that be? Events will come into your life. When you work, things will come into your life. Even as speakers, even as HR professionals, even as leaders, have you experienced things when you have the best laid out plan and things just go wrong? Have you ever experienced that? You can have the best laid out plans and things will just go out wrong. But then, you have the opportunity. So what do you think is R? It is the way you respond. Absolutely. It is the way you respond. Because that is going to change your life. And for today, I would like to share with you the 3 R's of possibility on how you could take your leadership in a changing environment and how you can make that powerful. And the first R is really about your response. So think of situation that you have been into and what can you do to make a difference. And I'd like to share with you, this is one of the emotional intelligence model that I work and help customers with. And within this model, for the time that we have today, I'd like to just share 2 elements. And that is on this element of recognizing patterns and navigating emotions. Navigating patterns and navigating emotions. So let me just come down. Now, in Manila, do you get traffic jams? Yes. Woo-hoo. Is that part of life? Okay, do you ever get a time when there's no traffic jam? Yes. There are times too without traffic jam, right? So imagine this. You are driving along the road, but because all of you are professionals, you are very compliant, right? Okay, so imagine this, you're driving along. And what usually takes you 10 minutes is taking you much longer than expected because the traffic was just so heavy. But being a compliance person, you queue up, you line up, right? And then someone sends you a WhatsApp message, a messenger. You take a look at it and says, hey, where are you? We're still waiting for you. By looking at the message, what happens? The car in front moves forward. When it moves forward, what happens? There is a space, isn't it? Now, what happens in Philippines when there's a space in front of you in a traffic jam? Someone cuts into your lane, right? Exactly. Were you there that day? Yeah. So someone cut into your lane. Now, how do you feel when someone cuts into your lane? You feel angry? What else? You feel angry? What else? How do you feel? Pissed off. Wow. Okay. How else would you feel? Vengeance? Wow, vengeance is in the people. All right. So different kind of emotions, right? So you will have different kind of emotions that you will be feeling. And that is exactly what happened, right? So on that particular day, even as they were going through that portion, the different emotions. Now, what do you do when you're feeling angry, upset, frustrated because someone actually did that to you? what would you be doing? I heard someone say horn, right? How many of you will horn the car? Okay, Chris, your horn. Can you do a quick demonstration on how your horn sounds like?
Do 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 do.
You got a very special car. I've never had that horn before. Do, 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 do. All right. So what, Jojo? What about you? How does your horn sound like? Do you have a truck? It sounds more like a truck. All right. So those are quite typical responses, isn't it? You know, the other day I asked this question, and you know what came out? Bon. Pardon? Was that a horn? Bon. That was quite polite, isn't it? So yours is quite normal, right? So yours is quite normal. Great job. So again, and some people do the finger exercise. You know, which finger, you know, one of the fingers, so they do the finger exercise, right? And a lot of responses. So again, now when those things happen, does it happen automatically? Or do you have to think about it? It happens automatically, right? I mean, you have a trigger and it happens, right? I mean, how many of you would say, hey, someone just cut my lane? Now, what do I usually do when people cut my lane? I become angry. And what do I do when I become angry? Oh, I horn. Do you do that? Not really, right? So, I would like to encourage you today to even think about the patterns. But does that happen at work? Sometimes the thing that people say or the things that people do may cause those patterns to happen, right? So I'd like you today to start thinking about what are some of your patterns that when you can pull yourself away and look at yourself and say, hey, when I work, what patterns do I do? What are the things? And if you don't like those patterns, it is what can you do to navigate those emotions? Remember, the first thing you need to do is recognize the pattern, and what can you do to navigate the emotions? Can you turn to your partner and say, navigate pattern, navigate emotion, right? Recognize the pattern, navigate the emotion. Turn to your partner and say, how can you recognize the pattern and navigate the emotions? When you can do that, you are at the taking ownership of your responses, right? You are taking ownership of your response. And that is the power of R. That is the power of R. So let me share with you the second element that is very important. Are we good so far? Learning some new things? Right? So immediately, even after you finish and we go for your break, do remember how you can navigate, right? How you can navigate. But there is also something that I found out about Asia. You know, I'm Asian, I'm a Malaysian. And when we talk about navigating, you know what happens? We go for meetings, right? How many of you ever attended meetings at the workplace? Every day, right? Most of the time. How do you like your meetings? The moment you heard the word, let's have a meeting, are you excited? Woohoo! Meeting time! Or, meeting? How long? What is it about? And you know what? When we go for a meeting, this is what happens. So the boss will say, hey, you know, we are here to get this level of targets. This is our sales growth. Everyone, do you agree? Yes, boss, we agree. But inside your heart, it was like, you gotta be kidding me. And then you go for your coffee break. And then you start talking, what is wrong? How can they set those kind of targets? This is crazy, you know? They're expecting so much from us. No way. And then you go back into the room. Hey, how was the break? Everything good? Awesome, boss. It was great. But the unhappiness is everything is here. And you know what happens? Over time, it gets built up. It gets built up. It gets built up, right? And what happens when you have no more space? It will explode. It will burst out. And it will explode at the wrong person most of the time. And this is how you should navigate emotion, right? If you don't like the outcome that you have been seeing so far, think of what are the ways you can navigate, right? Think of the way you can navigate. So that's the first R, the power to respond. Can I hear from you again? The power to respond. All right, we're good. So I spent many years working in the Marriott Hotel. And in working in the hospitality sector, one of the elements is about service. right? It's about building people, about building relationship. Now, imagine if you're the chairman of Marriott International, when you visit your hotels, which department would you visit first? I heard sales. What else? Operations. Anyone else? Management. Now, you're all correct, except that Mr. Marriott, the chairman of the company, would visit this particular place. It's called the stewarding department. Anyone know what is the stewarding department? You know when you have your place and you have eaten and they send it to the back of the area to wash? Right? So just imagine on that day you're working there. Right? And Mr. Marriott comes and visit you. How would you feel? Because you are hardly visited by people. You feel acknowledged? Just imagine this, right? You're doing your work there and Mr. Marriott comes. Hi, welcome. How are you? I'm Mr. Marriott and so good to have you working with Marriott International. Wow. How's the family doing? Everyone is great? Yes, sir. We're doing great. Thank you so much. Can you imagine how he will feel that day after being visited by the chairman of the company? Do you think he'll be happy? Do you think I need to teach him? Okay, when you meet a customer, please have like 6 feet above, talk to Christian Chua, and we'll learn all about body language. Do you think he will know how to smile? Absolutely, right? You know, he'll be so happy, he'll be so motivated, he'll be so intrinsically excited. And you know what? Hey, you know what? Guess who visited me? Mr. Marriott. Mr. Marriott visited me. And you know what? We took a selfie together too. And that is the power of relationship. And that is something that Mr. Marriott is very strong in, right? How can you make people feel? So, I'd like to share this quote that Mr. Marriott said. When you begin to take good care of your people, when you begin to take good care of your associate, they will begin to take good care of your customer. If you want more money into your organization, build people. Build what? People. Build people. Because they can make the change that you so desire, right? Now, in working with our customers in the different regions in Asia Pacific and also in the Middle East, this is one tool I wanted to quickly share with you. Because this talks about the 3 dimensions of trust. And in building trust, it is about a feeling. But in leading to the feeling, there are areas that also breaks trust. There are things that builds trust. And these are the 3 dimensions that helps you in the area of your character. The trust of character, the trust of communication, and the trust of capability. And this is developed by the Reiner team. They are from the States. A lot of research into this area onto what are the 18 trust-breaking, trust-building opportunity that you can have, right? So there is available solutions in the market that can help you build trust. Because sometimes, especially the trust-breaking behaviors are unconscious. We don't see it, but it happens every day. Agree? So let me ask yourself right now, if you were to give a rating of 1 to 10 in terms of the trust in your organization, how would you rate it right now? Now, you don't have the answer, Marie, but wherever it is there opportunity to have trust better? What do you think? Is there opportunity? If you think so, put up your hand. Do you think there is better opportunity to have higher trust? We can all do with better, higher trust, right? So that is something that I'd like to encourage you to do. Because when you have trust, trust will build the bridge between your business need for result and more importantly, the human need for connection, right? So it is all about that. And for today's thing, I'd like to give you one extra bonus. It is about celebration. It is about what? Celebration. Now, how many of you here are having a birthday in either July or August? Anyone? Wow, wow. Could you stand up from where you are? Okay, can you stand up? All right. Wow, wow, wow. All right, can I invite all of you to very quickly come up to the front here? Come up to the front. Very quickly, come up to the front. Very quickly, if your birthday is in July or August, let's come up to the front. Let's come up to the front. All right, very quickly, we have very short lead time, so I'd like you to come up to the front. Woo-hoo. Okay. Oh, it's your birthday today. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, wow, candidate for Miss World. Okay, now what I'd like the rest of you to do, can I invite you to stand up? And I'd like you to sing a happy birthday song to the people in front. Can we do that? Let's do that, all right? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all of you. Happy birthday to you. Let's give them a big hand. Birthday time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, please take a seat. Please take a seat. We have not ended yet. Right. Yeah, you like it up here, right? Tom likes it up here. Cool. Okay. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please take a seat. Please take a seat. We will continue with the rest of the hour. But more importantly, for those of you that were celebrating your birthday, how do you feel when you are up here? How do you feel when you were up here? Do you feel good? It was a great feeling, right? Now, did it cost a lot to make that happen? Simple thing of celebration can build even greater trust and recognition. So I encourage you, continue to celebrate, right? Continue to celebrate because, end of the day, relationship matters. Relationship matters. Now the final R I'd like to share with you is this thing on mental toughness. Mental toughness. How many of you have heard of this thing called mental toughness? Now mental toughness is really about your resilience. As more and more people are being challenged, having emotions of anxiety, of fear, of changes, mental toughness is becoming more and more important. And this is the work that I'm privileged to work with. So we work with a lot of professionals to help them take their performance to the next level. How can they have greater performance? Like all top world-class athletes, they have great coaches. And this is our role to help them, right? So we help them in the areas of composure, concentration, confidence, capability, and cohesion. We really take them through the journey. So, if you were to ask yourself, in terms of your mental toughness, are there areas that you struggle with when it comes to this 5C? Is it an area of concentration? Do we do things too much? Or is it an area of composure? When you're faced with a situation, E plus R equals to, oh, how are you responding? So we're really excited when we help professionals, regardless of wherever, which region they come from, and this is so valuable that can make a difference in your life too, right? So the third R is about resilience, right? The power of resilience and how you can make a difference. So there you are, the 3 R's. Respond, relationship, and resilience. Because that is really the key to everything that can take you through a disruptive world. And today I'd like to share a very personal story with you. My mom, she was a teacher for a long time, serving the needs of education and primary school children. She teaches in Chinese school. When she retired at the age of 55, she said, I wanted to see the world. I wanted to enjoy life. And 1 year later, she contracted cancer at the age of 56. And this brings me back 20 years to the time. I loved the game of basketball. I still remember it was a Saturday. I was playing basketball, doing my jump shot, 3-pointers, really getting a fun thing. And I said, my mom at the time was in the hospital, and I said, after the game, I'm going to visit her, which I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. But on that day, after I finished the game, there was a missed call from my phone. So can you imagine when you get a missed call from the hospital, what that means? I rushed to the hospital, but my mom had passed away. But I remember the day before, as I was having a conversation with her, she said this to me: whatever you do, Be your best. Be the light. Because you can do great things. Continue to be of service to others. I never truly understood what that meant for a long time. I was having a lot of bitterness because I say, why, Mom? Why didn't you just wait for me to be there? For me to say my goodbye. But I guess that was how my mom wanted to say a farewell. To be the best. To be the light. So that is what I'd like to encourage you. Wherever you are right now, when you embrace the power of the 3R, how you respond to situation, events, and everything. Sometimes you can't control situations. Sometimes you can have the best plan laid out forward. But you have a choice. So I was stuck in that place for a long time. I was very sore. I couldn't move on. But when I finally did, I found the why of what I'm doing. And I realized right now, for the last 20, 15 years, my mom has always been with me. She's just been with me to say, continue to be your best. Share the light to everyone. Serve forward in everything that you have the opportunity to do. So whether it is one person, two person, a group of 1,000 people, it doesn't really matter. When you are able to make a difference to someone, is that good enough? That's good enough. That is what life is about, right? When you have the power to make a response, when you can build a relationship, when you have the resilience in you, it is all about that, right? But whatever we share today is just all good. But like what Shirley said, it is all about taking action, right? It's all about taking action. So I would like to see how well the people in Manila will take action. Can I invite you to stand up, please? Can I invite you to stand up, please? And I would like to do something different today because you're such a fun group. Now, I'm going to call out a couple of things and I'd like to see how well you are able to form groups, okay? So push your chair in a little bit. Let's see how well you take on to this challenge across the different regions that I've done. Let's see how fast you're able to do this. I'd like you to form groups of 3%. Let's see how fast you're able to do this. Let's see how fast you're able to do. Only groups of 3%. Okay, let's see how fast you're able to do this. Okay, well, not too bad. Some of you are doing very well. All right, groups of 6%. Okay, groups of 6%. Let's see how well you take action in group of 6. Hey, that looks too big. Is it groups of 6? Are we having groups of 6? Groups of 6? Okay, very good. That seems to be doing pretty good. All right, are you ready for the next one? Are you ready? Now, groups of 8%. All right, 8%. How is that doing? Okay. All right. Let's try to talk it through now. What is happening? Now, some of them are just left there. Look at the two of them, right? Now, when we first started, we said groups of 3. Everyone formed groups of 3. That was pretty good. And then we formed groups of 6. Everyone just combined, right? That was easy, right? And then when it came to groups of 8, what happened? You say, oh, sorry for you. I'm not going to be with you. Thank you so much. And some of you, I'm going to grab you. I'm going to take you. Does that happen in organization? Right? Sometimes when you need it, they say, oh, come here, we show you a lot of love. And sometimes they're just left alone in situation. And this is where you really need to practice the power of the R, right? It's about how do you respond. Like to two of them, they were kind of like alone. Now, did anyone offer to say, please come to our group? Now they're saying it, please come to our group. We will show you some heart. But it happens so automatically, right? Sometimes we lose focus on the people that are important. What is the 3R? Respond, relationship, and resilient. Now, I'm going to do one final challenge. Let's do a biggest group in this ballroom. Let's see how well you're able to form one big circle. Let's see whether you're able to form one big circle. Let's see how fast you can do that. The record is 15 seconds. See whether you're able to do it in 15 seconds. We are at 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are we there? Very good. Wow. Give yourself a big hand. Now, what do you notice around the room right now?
We are one.
You are one. And you're able to see everyone in the group, isn't it? it is not only about the speaker, it is about everyone in the room. Those are the resources. These are the people that you have to count on. These are the people that are standing next to you that you can call upon to build your response, to build the relationship, to build the relationship. Let's hold our hands together right now. Right? Let's hold hands together and say, I have the power of response. I have the power of relationship. I have the power of resilience. And I have you next to me. So give yourself another big hand because you are awesome. Thank you so much, my friends. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So remember, the power, response, relationship, and resilience will take you from where you want to be to where you can be. So with that, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you for your gracious time of inviting me here. Always remember the people that you see across the room next to you. Don't leave anyone behind because everyone is valuable. Be the best, be the light. Thank you so much, my friends. You have been great. A lot of love for you.
Thank you, Jonathan.